Hello everyone, I'm Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel, and in today's session we are going to cover how are we going to handle the test data in test automation using Python language. So most of the times in our automation framework, QA automation framework, the test data will come in these three formats. That's why I have picked these three. Sometimes we may keep the data in database, and also we can retrieve the data from there, but it will be a little cumbersome, right? You need to maintain a database, and for that you might need the DBA support and all. So it is better to keep your framework a little light and independent of the DBA and other accesses. So what I would suggest is keep your test data in one of these formats. One is JSON, nothing but the JavaScript object notation, or CSV, or in Excel file, right? So first, what is JSON? So JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. It is very similar to the dictionary objects that we have in Python. So we have already covered that subject. So straight away let's jump into Python, and we'll create the Python package called input data, right? Input data, and here we'll create the first file, Python file, and we'll name it as read JSON. First of all, what is JSON? So let me create a variable, and I'll store a value inside a variable in this curly braces. So I'll give this as a name as Loganathan. So both are string here. So do you already see that it is looking as the key value pair that we have in our dictionary, correct? All right, just because I'm using the double quotes, so let us go with the single quotes at the outside. Okay, now let me print this, print A. What's happening? Okay, it prints the content of A, which is nothing but the string. Now if I want to first convert this into JSON format, what I need to do is I need to import the package called JSON. Once I import it, then say I'll call this as test data equal to JSON dot, the package that I've imported dot, we have load, okay, and then I give this data that I'm loading. Now I'll run this. Let me put this test data here. So you're seeing the same name, Loganathan. What is the difference? So let's see what is the difference. So I'm printing the value A, and here I'm printing type of A. And then I'll print a break, so that will be easy for us to understand. Now here I print type of test underscore data. Let's run this. You see it? First time I was straight away printing this A. There is no difference, right? So it was printing as curly braces and then name and then Loganathan. But when I print the type of A, it says it's a string. But now, after I convert that into JSON using this loads method, it is converted into dictionary. Once it is converted into dictionary, now you can see that it looks the same when it prints the test data, but the type, the class, right, the type of test data has changed to dictionary. What is the advantage? Right? So there are a lot of advantages when it comes to test automation. Let me see. Let me put print star 10. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bigger JSON file. Okay? JSON input. So here I keep everything in string format. So JSON underscore input is given in triple single quotes. When do we use triple single quotes? When we use multiple lines, then we will use the triple single quote. Here I start it, and then here I close it. So now let me say first is city name Bangalore. Okay. And then I'm going to say known for, I'll say let me say pin code. Okay, I'll give my pin code 56006, and then I'll say has beach. It is false, right? It doesn't have a beach. And then has what can I say? Has proper road. I'll say null. Okay, or number of, let's go with number of proper road. It says null. Now this is a JSON. Once I convert it, I'll follow the same process. Test data is equal to, I'm going to convert this. How can I convert? I can convert like this. And after I convert this, if I want to iterate through my dictionary, the way we'll generally go is with the for loop, right? For say data in test data, maybe, or let me go with for key in test data, print. First let us print key, and then we'll ensure that it is working. That's a syntax error. Yeah. So for key in test data, what happened? It is throwing error. Trace back. Line 25, and where exactly it is failing? Expecting the comma as delimiter. Yeah, okay, cool. I'll run this. Nice. So this is your JSON. Okay, JSON is going to have the key value pair structured data, and the key will be always string, but the value can be string, integer, there is number, and then a boolean, and then a null. Null means nothing. Okay, so I can have it in this way. But once it is converted into dictionary, I am able to iterate through them using the for each loop, right? For key in test data, it is printing all the key names, city name, pin code, hash, has beach. So all these are keys. How can I get my values? It is nothing but test data of the key, isn't it? Let me run this. Now city name Bangalore. pin code 56006 has beach false. Number of proper roads, none. Notice the point that here I've given false in lowercase, but when it comes here, the false is coming in the way Python takes false as an variable, variable type of the variable, right? So boolean variable. And similarly, when it comes to this number of proper roads, null is given inside the JSON. JSON, as I mentioned, it is a JavaScript object notation. In JavaScript, null is allowed, and in Python, when null is getting converted, it gets converted to none, because in Python we don't have a data type called null. That's why we get none. All right, so all these are possible only using this package JSON. Now, generally we don't keep these things in direct Python code, right? Where do we keep? We'll keep this in the JSON file. So let me copy this, and then I create a new file, and I'll name it as JSON input dot JSON. Then I pasted it here. The same data which I pasted in a file, right? So how are we going to read this file? Okay, very simple, no big magic. Let me put a breaker for a better understanding. I'll run this. Cool, there is a breaker here. I'll increase it to 20. Okay, it's coming. Good. So next, instead of this, I'm going to do JSON.loads open the file name. Just because it is in the same directory, I'm just giving the file name. Rename. Where is the rename option? Here you go. Copy this, and then here inside the open, within the single quotes or double quotes, keep your file name. Once it is given, run this. For key and test data, print key command data value. It is giving error. Let us see what exactly it says. It says type error. Must be string bytes. Okay, I think it should be load, and I'm reading it from file. Let me try it. All right, yes. So remember, guys, when you use JSON.loads, then it will take the string, okay, and then it will convert that into dictionary object. But when you are reading it from the file, then you must use JSON.load. Okay, when you use JSON.load, then you can use the files. Here I have used relative path because it is inside this input data. In case if you are keeping it somewhere else, then you have to provide the right path of the file along with the file name. Then it can read and then it can do it. So now you know how to get everything. So in your automation, say you need to get the value of the city, you need to enter in a city field, right? Then what you can do, since you know already the key, you can say print. Here I'm saying print, but there you would be saying set or fill that, correct? So let me use it. Instead of key, I'm going to pass city name, right? Cool. So I'll add this and run this. You get the Bangalore. So this is how we handle the data from JSON files. It's pretty simple in Python. Once you import this JSON package, then all other lines or all other piece of line that you are going to write is very straightforward, right? One is loads, another one is load and then open, and then the file path. That's all. And after which you would be getting a complete access to the entire data in key value pair in dictionary format, and you can use all the methods of dictionary to play around with the dictionary and get the data from it. Got it? All right. Next, we'll move to how are we going to read something from CSV file. Let me close this, and then for that, what we need to do is first we need to go to the settings file. We have settings here. Now I'm just trying to locate where is settings in this Mac PyCharm, because generally in Windows, the moment you go to file, you would find the settings here as one of the options. But for Mac, okay, here it is, right? So once you click on this cog wheel, you will have an option called settings. Go there. Once you go to settings, go to Python. Under Python, you will see interpreter, and under interpreter, what you do, you look for the package. Okay, so what is the package that you need to handle your CSV file? It is Pandas. Okay, that is what you want. Type Pandas here. This is okay. So here you have plus icon. Click plus and type pandas and select it and click on install package and close and click on OK. So you see that something is installing in your system. This means the Pandas is getting installed. Updating skeletons. So let it install. It will take few minutes for Pandas to be installed. We'll wait until it gets installed. Once it is done, again it's going to be very easy to read the CSV file. And in the meantime, what we do is we'll create the CSV file. Okay, so file, new, and then again I'm going to create a file and I'm going to name it as CSV input dot CSV. CSV is nothing but comma separated value. Okay, it says null. Let me see. Okay, it adds rows. Delete row. Okay, how can I add columns? So you can create CSV files in a very easy way, but since I'm using Mac, I'm trying to do it from here. Let's see. Table result, local filter, record view. Maybe I'll go with record view. No. Value, aggregate. No. Oh yeah, this is better, right? So text is what it says. Let me name it as name, comma. The column names I'll give in capital. Name, age, and then I'll say ID. So it generated for me. It doesn't need to do it this way. Okay, there's something wrong here. Let me remove them. Jane, age 30, and then ID I'll say 1001. Bob, age 35, 1002, and then here I'll say Charles, age, let's see, 24, and then we'll keep it as 1003 as ID. Okay, let me save this, and now let's go to data. Good. So this is name, age, ID, Jane, Bob, and Charles, and it has age, it has ID. So as I was showing, so everything is separated by comma. You see, all the values are separated by comma, and this is for the header, and all these are your actual data. Okay. And when I go to data, you can see it. If you are a Windows user, it is very easy for you to create a CSV file. Open a text pad and just type these values in this way, and then when you save it, do a save as, and then save it as a .csv file. That's all, and save it inside this input data folder, or save it in your downloads and then copy paste it into this folder where you have your Python script. That's all. So now CSV input is created. Let me rename it. and copy this name. Next, let's create a read CSV Python file. Read CSV. So this is the read CSV, and I hope the pandas is installed. So let us do import pandas as PD. Okay, you can use this PD or you can directly use pandas. It is up to you, but I prefer to use the short name, alias name for pandas. So that's why I used as PD. Okay, next is, once PD is done, created, next is I'm going to create a variable called df. Then I'm going to use this PD, the library or the package that I have installed, and then there is an option called read CSV. So in the read CSV, I'm going to give the file name. That's all. Okay, now let me explain. What is pandas? Pandas is a library, very powerful library, data structure library package that you can use for playing around the data. So it can take data and then process data, and then it can predict data. So when it comes to AI, we need to train the AI models with huge number of data, and for that this pandas is a key, right? So you need to use some third-party packages, libraries like pandas, to take the raw data and then process them and then feed into AI's models. So pandas is one of the very important thing, but here we are using it for reading the CSV files. Okay, all right. And then here, what am I doing in this library? I'm saying that there is a method called .readCSV, and then this CSV file is going to read this file placed in my folder. And why it is df? It is data frame. Okay, let me print this first. Print df and see. You see that whatever was there in the CSV file, it is completely printed, name, age, ID, but it has some extra details like 0, 1, 2. It is nothing but this is the row number 0, and then this is the row number 1, and this is row number 2, and this is not considering the headers as row 0, 1, 2, right? It is considering this as header. That is good, because in automation we need the column names to be given to identify or to label the data that we store underneath it. So this is good. Now let me print type of df. What it says? Data frame. What data frame? Pandas data frame. So that's why I named it as df. It is asking me to include pandas stubs for code inside experience. We can do it, but it is up to you guys. If you want it, install it, otherwise you can ignore it. Okay, next, now I have installed pandas and I did it. What is next? Now I want only, say, value till 0. How can I print it? Print star 20, and then let me print the df. There is a method called head, and I'm going to say first 0 and see what it is going to print. Right, when I print head of 0, you see that this is printing empty data frame, right? It doesn't have anything is what it says. Now I'll say 1. Cool. So the moment I say head of 1, it prints the first row data, and the moment I say 2, it prints data till second row. The moment I say 3, it prints data till the third row. And then say if I try to put something more, it stops with a maximum. Okay, so using this you can take the partial values from your CSV file and print it or access it. That is what I'm coming to say. Now if you don't want the partial data completely, and if you want pandas to print all the values from a particular header, again we have a method for it. What is the method? So print df dot, no, this time not df dot, df of, I'm going to say name, right? So name, and let me run this. So when I run it, it prints Jane, Bob, and Charles, right? It extracts all the names, that is all the values from the name column, and it prints it. But it is not in the order, or it is not in the format that I can easily manipulate. So I would like to convert that into list. So how can I convert that into list? Very simple. Here you just put dot to list. And then now when you print it, you see that now this has come in the list, correct? So let me store this. Instead of printing it, let me store this value, say name list. I'll name it as name list is equal to, right? And then now I can use for loop for name in name list, print name. Same mistake I did above also, so let me run it now. Right, cool. So now it prints the values in name one by one. How easy it is, right? Next, if you are using converting it into list, then you have to go by index, or you have to use the for loop, for each loop. The better way of taking this is using the dictionary. Okay, now let me convert this into dictionary. Say I'll dt, I'll name it as dt, and then we have this here df. So df dot to dict, right? This converts this into dictionary. I'll simply print dt just to show you how it is. As you see, it is a dictionary, but it's a dictionary inside a dictionary. So I would like to convert it further. How can I convert? I can add the orient equal to records. So it will be converting them into records. Now if you see, this will be very clear, right? Name Jane, age 30, ID this. So this list is over, or this dictionary is over, and then the next dictionary starts. Again it has key value pair, name Bob, age 35, ID 1002. This dictionary is over. Next is this dictionary. So there are 3 dictionaries created, and now it is very easy for us to manipulate this particular converted dictionary. So here we are coming to an end of reading the values from CSV files and using it in our automation script, correct? All right, next we'll move on. So how to use, or how to read the data from Excel file. So for that, what you're going to do is, I'm going to install one more library, settings, Python interpreter, and here you're going to say OpenPyXL. Okay, so select it correctly, the one that you want to install, and say install package. Close. Okay, and the installation is going on. See, if you want to do it this way, do it. Otherwise you can bring your terminal, and there you can do pip, correct? Say right click, and tools, Windows help. on this console you can type pip, then you can say install OpenPyXL. Okay, it's going somewhere wrong. Instead you can bring your terminal. I'm sorry for that. pip install OpenPyXL. So this says a new release of pip is available. To update, run pip install, upgrade pip, because I just installed the Excel through my interpreter, right? I went to settings and then I went to Python interpreter. So I'm trying to do this. It's okay. I can upgrade it, no problem with that. So this is upgraded. So this is another way. Pip is nothing but Python installer, package installer for Python, and then install OpenPyXL. The similar way you can do for Pandas too. Pip install Pandas, then it will install the Pandas. So there are multiple ways to do the same thing, but I have shown you the easiest way. Correct. Next, let me go to input data, and for playing with Excel, I need an Excel. The challenge is I'm using Mac and I cannot create an Excel file directly. So let me see if I can go to Google Sheet. Right, so I'll go to Google Sheet. Okay, anyways, I don't mind wherever I want to create. This is my another account. I have to sign out from this to manage your account. It's okay. What I do, I'll go to Google Sheets. I need to do the circus just to create one Excel file, and yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, name, then age, then ID. So the name Abhishek, age 25, ID 1001, Bhanu 30, 1002, Rohit, age 32, say 1003, and then say Loganathan, age 40 and 1004. All right, so I've created 4 rows and I'm going to download this file. Download as XLSX, right? Cool, it has downloaded, and the name of the sheet is sheet 1, and I go to my downloads folder, and this is untitled spreadsheet. So let me change it to Excel input, right? And then I copy this. I copied, and I go here and I try to paste. Let me see if it works. Yes, it is doing something. Done. So the Excel input is pasted here. So guys, from PyCharm you will not be able to open this XLSX. So oh, it opens. That's nice. Even XLSX is opening, but I do not prefer this. The reason is here it doesn't show the sheet name and all, right? When you work with XLSX, the advantage is this can have multiple sheets, and then you can do formatting, you can do pivoting and filtering, right? There are so many options, and those things cannot be done with PyCharm. So at least it is showing a preview of the first sheet. I'm happy with that. Okay, now let's go and create the first file, read Excel. Okay, so we are reading the first statement, import Excel. I can give a shortcut, okay, or alias, I can say OpenPyXL, OXL, and I can use it here. Okay, first let me say WB. WB is nothing but OXL dot load workbook. This is a method. We have load workbook, and here we need to use the Excel file name. So I already copied that Excel file name, so I'll straight away give it. Let me just run it to ensure that there is no error. Nice, there is no error. How am I confirming? Because the exit code is 0. So it is able to read the XLS file that we have given, and this is the workbook, right? So it opened the entire Excel, but now what I want to do is I want to go to the particular sheet. So let me say sh is equal to wb dot or wb of sheet 1. Again, I'm going to run and see if there is any error in my program. Yes, it has some error. What is it? Key error. Worksheet 0 does not exist. What happened? Sheet 1 does not exist. Maybe capital S. Let's see. Oh, cool. So when the name was incorrect, I have to give capital S. So now we have traversed to the sheet sh. Next, we are going to get the value. So how can I get the value? In the sheet sh, I want to read the cell. Let me give 0, 0 and see what is going to happen. It's going to throw error because in Excel we do not have the 0th cell. It is always the first cell. 1, 1. Let me run this. No error. Now I'll print V and see what is going to happen. Print V cell sheet 1 dot A1. Now I'm going to add one more method, nothing but value. Let's see. It printed name. Nice, right? So because here cell 1 or row 1 column 1 value is name, so that is what is printing here. Good. All right. If I want to traverse through the Excel and print everything, how can I do it? First, for that I need to identify the maximum number of rows, right? sh dot that sheet, what is the max row? I receive the max row. So here row count rc is equal to this. Let me print row count what it says. There are 5 rows is what it says. Let's go and check. 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, it is correct. And then I need to find the column count. How can I take the column count? cc is equal to rc dot max. Does it have max here? No. rc. Let me use sh dot max column. Good. And I print cc here and I say column count. Let's run this. Column count is 3. 1 2 3. Yeah, this is also correct. So now we have row count and column count, and after we have row count and column count, it is about executing through this row and column, right? For 1 2 range rc let me run I in range rc print I. Good. 0 1 2 3 4 is what printing. This is row, and then I'm going to have one more for loop for, so this I name it as row and this I name it as column for C in range cc print, what am I going to print? This one, right? sh dot cell of r comma c dot value. Let me run this. Why, what is going wrong? Did I type the range spelling correct? range, yeah. Okay, this time what is the error? Value error, row or column value must be at least 1. What is it going wrong? Most recent, there is some failure. Raise value error, row or column values, line 14 and then line 242. There is only 14. Let me quickly check where is it going wrong. So far I couldn't find any reason why this is not working. Let me see. Maybe, yeah. No, it worked actually, right? So I in range RC, it was going okay. Now I understand. So it started from 0. Do you remember? So when I just go with this, let me copy this, and then when I hide for I in range RC, when I say print I, the I starts from 0. We already know that in Excel 0 doesn't support, right? So what we need to do is we'll have to start from I plus 1 and then let's print it. So syntax error, why. Okay, got it. Instead of adding 1 here, let me add 1 here, so that it will start from 1 and it goes till 5. But do I have 5 columns? Sorry, 5 rows. 1 2 3 4 5. Good. And same applies for column also. Good. So I think we are good. Let's see. So here I'll put plus 1 and here I put plus 1. Let's run this. This time it's giving error, name error, name R is not defined. R. Yep, cool. So this has printed all the values, but I don't want this to be like this. End is equal to this name age ID. Okay, then I'll do a simple print. Yes, so that it will print in an Excel way. Yeah, see, Abhishek 25, 100, 1001, Bhanu 30, 1002, Rohit 32, 1003, Loganathan 40, 1004. Easy. Now we are able to traverse through the Excel file and get the data and print them. And what have we used here? We used load workbook, and then we passed the workbook name. Just because it is kept in the same folder, I have given just the name. In case this Excel file is kept somewhere else in another folder, I mean inside the project, then you need to give the either relative path or the hard-coded path, the entire complete path. Okay, so that you can give, but keeping or giving the complete path will result in errors in case you are going to store this file inside GitHub and you are going to run them. So I always prefer to give relative paths. Next, after we load the entire workbook, we need to go to the sheet in which we have the data. So here I have the sheet name as sheet 1, right here. But if you want, you can add multiple sheets, and if you want to read data from another sheet, you can provide that sheet name here. Once that is given, you need to pick the value from that sheet. How can you pick the value? Using the row and column values. So 1, 1 is where it starts, right? So this is 1, 1, 2, 3. This is third column, fifth row. So 5, 1. If you put 5, 1 here, sorry, this is 5, 3 here, fifth row, third column, you would get 1004. Let's see. Is it not printing? Oh, this is only V. I have to print V. Cool, 1004 is printed. Next, this is how we read data in one cell, but if you want to read the entire Excel, then you can go with first finding out the row count by using the function called max row from the sheet, and then you can go with column count again using the function called max column, the method called max column on that sheet. And after you have the row count and max row count and column count, you can use the for loop. And when you use the for loop, ensure that if you are using this range, then you always provide or ensure that the value goes from number 1, right? Because in Excel we do not have 0, 0. It is always starts from 1, 1. So this R will be 0 in the range RC. So that's why I started with R plus 1 and then C plus 1. Once this is done, you get all the values. And it is up to you. Once you have the data, you can convert that into list, or you can convert that into dictionary, and you can manipulate the data and accordingly use the data inside your automation script. Good. All right, guys. So with this, we are coming to the conclusion of this session, as well as the entire Python for Testers series. Okay. So whatever you have learned so far in Python as a test automation engineer, you would use maximum 30 to 40%. Rest all is for your knowledge, right? So in case you are running into any big issues, then you want to debug them. If you know all these, then you can easily debug. And also in the AI era, where all the scripts are created by the AI, if you want to debug them, if you have these fundamentals ready, if you are prepared on these fundamentals, it will be easy for you to debug them. So that is the reason we have done an exclusive coverage on Python for automation testers. So go through all the videos, master them. Then if you get into any framework which is using Python, maybe it is Playwright with Python or Selenium with Python, you can easily understand that framework and then start contributing to it. Or if you want, you can create the frameworks right from the scratch too. So next, I'm planning to come up with a video series, either for Selenium with Python or Playwright with Python, but I haven't yet decided. But when I roll that out, you will get your notifications. So stay tuned. Until we see next time, take care. Very importantly, keep learning. Bye for now.